Welcome to the channel. If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. What if your next contract didn't need a lawyer? No paperwork, no chasing signatures, just action. That's the idea behind smart contracts. Code that makes and enforces agreements for us. But when we automate trust, we also automate risk. Who checks the rules? What happens when something unexpected happens? And what if the code executes perfectly, but it's ethically wrong? Let's explore the promise and the peril of smart contracts. A smart contract is like a vending machine. But for trust, you give it inputs, money, data, a trigger. If everything checks out, it delivers an outcome, automatically. But here's where it gets serious. These contracts run on a blockchain, which is like a public logbook that everyone sees. And no one can change, so once a smart contract is published, it's permanent. Like carving a promise into stone. The logic is simple and brutal. If this happens, then do that. No interpretation, no exceptions. Smart contracts don't understand context or intent. They just execute. So what are smart contracts actually being used for? Let's move beyond theory and see what they do in the real world. Smart contracts are helping businesses in two ways. First, the tactical. That means making existing systems faster and cleaner, removing bottlenecks. Take Maersk, a global shipping company. With IBM, they built TradeLens, where smart contracts manage customs documents, cargo verification, and handovers. Before this, clearing international shipments took days. Now, verified smart contracts can do it in minutes, saving time, cutting fraud, and improving compliance. Now, let's look at strategy. That's where smart contracts enable entirely new ways of doing business. Consider AXA's Fizzy platform. It sold flight insurance. But you didn't need to file a claim. If your flight was delayed over 2 hours, the contract automatically checked flight data and issued a payout. No paperwork, no negotiation. This wasn't just automation. It was a new trust model, where code replaces bureaucracy. But smart contracts aren't just tools for big companies. They're already changing how individuals create, earn, and collaborate. You're a digital artist. You create a piece of art, mint it as an NFT, and add a rule. Every time this artwork is resold, I get 10%. That's a smart contract working quietly in the background, securing your royalties forever. Or you're using DeFi, decentralized finance. A smart contract lets you borrow money. No credit score, no bank. The contract locks up your collateral, tracks your repayment, and releases funds, all without human involvement. Or you're in a DAO, a community that runs on code. Votes are transparent, spending is programmable. There's no CEO, just contracts that everyone agreed to. These examples aren't future dreams. They're live systems, being used by millions right now. But here's the question that most people forget to ask. Who writes these contracts? And more importantly, who checks that they're fair? Most smart contracts are written by developers, but developers aren't lawyers. And most lawyers can't read Solidity. The language smart contracts are written in that creates a dangerous gap. The rules might execute perfectly and still violate the spirit of a deal. That's why we now need legal engineers, a new role that combines legal knowledge with coding fluency. Alongside them, auditors use special tools like Slither and Certora to simulate every path a contract can take, like testing every fork in a choose-your-own-adventure book. It's called formal verification, proving that a contract can't break under pressure before it ever runs on the blockchain. Let's pause for a quick recap. We've covered what smart contracts are, how they help businesses and creators, why legal and coding skills must now work together. Coming up next, we explore what happens when smart contracts go terribly wrong, and how AI is stepping in to help. In 2016, something called the DAO went live. It was a decentralized investment fund, and its rules were all in code. But there was a problem. The contract let users withdraw money multiple times before their balance updated. It's like tricking an ATM to keep spitting cash before it realizes you're out of money. The result? $60 million disappeared. Ethereum had to split into 2 blockchains, and that wasn't the last time. In 2020, a similar flaw drained millions from lendf.me. Again, because the code worked, just not safely. To stop this, researchers are now combining LLMs like CodeBERT with control flow graphs, maps that show how decisions move through code. These tools are helping catch reentrancy attacks, the ATM bug integer overflows, where numbers loop dangerously, Ponzi logic, scams dressed up as contracts. Smart contracts are more than just automation. They're a new form of governance, one written in code instead. Imagine this: a farmer in rural Kenya receives insurance automatically because a smart contract detected drought conditions from satellite data. No middleman, no forms, no delay. That's the upside. Now the flip side. What happens when a contract executes unfairly, or is manipulated by insiders, or fails, and there's no one to override it? That's why governments are stepping in. Australia is reviewing legal enforceability. The EU is embedding rules around automated systems. We may soon see hybrid contracts, part code, part traditional law. And we'll need new roles: contract modelers, governance architects, compliance engineers. Smart contracts aren't just for tech people anymore. They're becoming the infrastructure of global trust. Smart contracts give us speed, transparency, and control, but they also raise a hard question. Would you trust a contract you can't renegotiate? That's what's at stake as we move from trust in people to trust in code. Thanks for watching Tech Disruptors. If you found this helpful, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Up next, AI and cybersecurity. Is it our best defender or our next big threat?